Hey everybody, welcome to Trading Capital's daily live stream of the market open. Today is currently April 25th, and as we kick off the new session today, we have a whole host of earnings. We have UPS, McDonald's, First Republic that absolutely shit the bed sorry for my language, but definitely shit the bed. So we're looking at a long trade on First Republic here, but this is super high risk, not for the faint of heart. The level that I'm prepared to go long FRC, this is just a day trade with very tight stop losses. Ultimately know that this stock could get halted and we could be trapped in on a bankrupt or a receivership company. But there's still day tradeable opportunities, and they say fortune favors the brave. So 1150, a Pierce of 1150 I may consider going long. There are some other opportunities that are less risky that I prefer. UPS is gapped down on a poor earnings. So the level that I have on UPS, let me just go to the daily chart here. Basically, sorry, let me just fix my level here. It's around 185, 180, sorry, 184.17, 184.17. We're trading at 184.50 right now. Let's just see where the pre-market low was. So you can see the pre-market low pretty much hit that level right now. So we know there's some good technical support there. But that is the level as of now. And then there is a little bit of an area around 183.42. Conservative traders can wait for the 200 moving average, which would also be a great technical level. So if we slice through this in the pre-market before the 9:30 bell, we look for the 200 MA. That's the next level on UPS for a long trade. Okay. We're also looking at McDonald's for a short. Full disclosure, I am swing shorting it. This is likely my worst swing trade of 2023 so far. We haven't been in it for that long, but so far it is taking my ass to the cleaners. Who would have known to not short the Big Mac? It must have been that big chicken that they released. The Big Mac chicken is really fueling their growth here. And probably because they're switching to all automated stores. But 297 or higher on McDonald's for a short. What I'm seeing here is I think how this is going to play out. We're gapping up on McDonald's, extended, no pullback. I think it's going to shape up to be what like Coke did. So KO. Let's see what else Pepsi is doing. I haven't checked that stock today. That's actually gapping up as well. So let's just be mindful that Coke gapped up and reversed. Will we see the same across the board for all these other stocks? Right now Pepsi is gapping up and breaching that double top zone over there. So I don't have a short level up until around 190. Let's take a look. So Pepsi did a nice beat there. Obviously, a lot of these earnings, and one thing I caution you about Wall Street is just because you see a double beat doesn't mean it's good. Often Wall Street waters down these earnings reports, so it's really, you have to take it with a grain of salt. But anything above 190, I would look for Pepsi on a short trade. 190. Okay. We also have Tesla for a long. Tesla is under pressure. We did bank on our Tesla trade yesterday, so we did 3 for 3 basically. Tesla's actually gapping down again. Let me just flip to the intraday action here on Tesla. So you can see Tesla is falling. Let me clear all these drawings up. Basically, where I'd consider going long Tesla, double bottom. Double bottom, and then there's even a better technically sound level at, let me just see here, 156.95. So 158.60, depending on how the market opens up, and then 156.95 is definitely the better sounding technical level. So keep Tesla on the radar. Obviously, there's a lot of things that we're watching right now. I'm also looking at LTH for a short. LTH. Look at this powerful move on LTH. I would not chase it now. But LTH, I want to see it hit this double top. Double top, we can look for a short. You do have this kind of very, very hard pivot zone where you had a hard rejection, daily reversal signal, followed by a wide range red bar breakdown. You're into that level right now, so there is decent resistance. Aggressive traders can take the first two levels. Conservative traders wait for double top. Again, I'm probably going to wait for double top, but one thing I do like about this chart is you also have this downsloping trend line. So look at this confluence of resistance right now, but this is a big gap up on earnings, and we'll just have to see. It's a smaller name. It does trade often over 1 million shares, so that's on the positive side. But there's occasions where it doesn't trade 1 million, where it could overshoot on us. So that's why I'm kind of leaning towards more of the safer double top zone. We're also looking at Spotify for a short. Spotify is having a surge. I've been watching this one carefully, almost wanting to swing short it. I'm glad I didn't because it popped up on earnings. The level I have on Spotify is 144.56. 144.56. It may not even get there because it is quite a way off of that level, but it could get there with some market strength. 144.56. That's 46. Trying to isolate it down correctly. Now, Spotify, maybe they renewed Joe's contract, Joe Rogan. That's a big thing that would propel the stock higher, and I wouldn't short it. I would let the dust settle with Joe Rogan because he holds a lot of influential power. And then other trades, I'm looking at GE for a short. I know China stocks, will review China stocks as well because they've been under pressure, but GE is just a powerhouse. This thing doesn't want to stop. I mean, it's absolutely insane. Another gap up on GE, just riding the 7 daily moving average for quite some time. The level that I have on GE, let me just see here. It's basically anything above 103. 103. Again, it may not get there, but 103 is the level on GE. I know if we look at GE's earnings per share, look what they did. They did a basically almost 100% beat on the earnings per share. But again, a lot of this is watered down. They had revenue of 13.7 billion versus 13.25 consensus. Let's run through a couple other stocks. Look at UBS. They're getting slaughtered. Let's pull up the UBS chart. I know they are gapping lower, but their earnings are pretty horrific. Oh, that's the wrong chart. UBS is the right name. Give me 1 second here. I'm just... Oh, we just got breaking news that some rebels in Russia-Ukraine area have taken control of a serious biological weapons lab. That's the last thing we need. Lovely. And what's the dollar doing? Let's believe it. The dollar spiked on that news. So that's probably viable. Now, the dollar, if this continues to surge, that's not good. Look at the dollar, it's spiking here. So that news that some rebels have got a hold of biological weapons in the European area is spiking the dollar. So that's very viable, that news. That's not good. That's not good at all. Good for our long the dollar, but never good for biological weapons. All right, let's look at UBS here. Gapping down 2024. This one's a tough one. I'm not really seeing anything until we have a flush down to around 1928. There's a gap fill here. Even that is not the best technically sound level. You will have some additional support if you draw a trend line connecting these pivot lows. So actually that's not a bad level. It confluences between the gap fill and this upsloping trend line. That is a two-factor trade. But that's really the only level that I see on UBS. Let's take a look at some of the other earnings as well. We're just scrolling through Sherwin-Williams. Did a nice little beat. 3M was up on the session, coming in better than expected. Moody's, Kimberly-Clark, GM, Archer Daniels, ADM, missed on revenue. Let's pull up that chart, shall we? ADM gapping down a little bit. No trade here for me, at least no day trade. Not seeing anything there. MSCI, let's take a look at that name. MSCI. So basically MSCI is also gapping down 536. Level I only see is right around this pivot, this test candle reversal. That would be the only level that I would consider going long. Take a look at the dollar making a new nominal intraday high. Let's see FRC. FRC is coming into that level now, guys. So interesting to see. I mean, this is a super, super high risk play. We'll see if we can get some action on it. I'm just going to continue to watch it and see how things progress. Let's do a Spotify check. All right, let's keep scrolling through some of these earnings. Biogen was another one. I saw that down in the pre-market over 5%, but it got bought right back up in no time. Biogen, I do believe, was down 5% or so. Yeah, and look at that big buy candle. Wow, it's a big buy candle. So again, we really have to wait until it tests that pre-market low again. So I'm just going to mark that pre-market low there. And let's see on the daily chart what else. See how we got tested, it got bought right back up by the 50. You can also see that it came right into this downsloping trend line, kind of retraced your breakout zone. So maybe we get another test there. That's kind of what I'm hoping for and optimistic for, is that we get another test candle at that area where we can look to go long Biogen. Let me just keep scrolling through some of these earnings. We have about 14 minutes. I know the China stocks are under pressure, so I'll take a look at that. Halliburton, Coke, Spotify, obviously. Surprisingly, look, and this is where fundamentals can skew you. Look at Spotify's horrific earnings, double miss, and they are one of the best performing stocks today in the market, gapping up. That is just absolute lunacy. Absolute lunacy. This is why we pay attention to technicals. Pulte Group, oh, that's another important one. PH, Pulte Group. So Pulte Homes, Home Builders, of course, gapping up. What else is new? So Pulte is actually into this beautiful, beautiful double top zone. Pierced it yesterday, reversed, and now you're back to the high in Pulte. So we knew there were sellers lurking there, but now they actually reported decent earnings, which is why they're starting to perk up a little bit more. Basically, I'm just seeing this chart here. The only level I'm seeing is roughly if we get a pierce and make a new nominal high, maybe like a little poke above this 64.70 level. 65 would be ideal. We don't always get what we want, but 65 bucks would be ideal to short Pulte for a day trade. All right, let's just run through some of the China stocks because I think we've covered pretty much all the important earnings. TransUnion, let me just keep scrolling through this. Tenet Healthcare, THC, that's another interesting one that we've traded before. Shutterstock. All right, we've pretty much covered most of the important ones here. FISV, Nestle. Oh, I didn't check out Nestle. Let's check out Nestle. Let's check out FISV. That one's gapping lower. Oh, Novartis, also NVS reported today, so that's an interesting one. That one's actually gapped up. All right, this one's definitely a short. All right, this one's going to be a short trade, Novartis. Let me just isolate down some levels here. Just give me a second. So we're almost into that double top zone on NVS. That's going to be the level. Double top, 106.70. You're into good resistance. You're super extended. I mean, look at this move in NVS. But keep that on the radar. 106.71. That's a day trade and a swing short level. So I do like that very much. Alright, so let me just do a run through of the China stocks. I'll pull up my other screen here. Baba again gapping lower. Same thing with Baidu. It's just a straight decline on these stocks. So Baba, after we traded it, or I individually traded it, there was a nice gap fill, but Baba is now trading at 85.33. So really the level that I see, we have a gap fill on Baba around that 83.52. And you have another secondary gap down here. Let's just see if we see any other support zones. If we draw a trend line from this pivot to there, you can see Baba hit that level yesterday and is into that again. That's not the level to watch though. The real level is this one here. So there is a potential that BABA can actually flush to this gap at 83.50, and then the bigger swing trading level is around 81.14. Let's do Baidu. Baidu's also just had a straight fall from grace, trading at 119. You're into this gap. Aggressive traders can play the first gap fill. I'm going to wait because China stocks have been absolutely obliterated, and the dollar's strong today, so China stocks may be under a bit more pressure than most people anticipate. It is a decent level though, because look at this sell-off. I mean, you haven't had a bounce. We're talking about a move down of 24% with no bounce. So naturally you can expect at least a 2.4% bounce. Actually, I'm going to keep that on the radar. That might be an interesting play on Baidu. Baidu's actually looking pretty intriguing to me right now. Pretty intriguing. And I'll keep Bob on the radar as well. I'm going to set some alerts for these individual names. But I do like the Chinas for a potential long trade. So aggressive traders on Baidu, 119.14. More conservative level is the 117.53. Nvidia's acting well today. FRC's catching a bid. Spotify level again is 144.56. Coinbase is starting to come down. Gold has had a nice move off the lows despite a stronger dollar. Nat gas was under some pressure. It's still negative on the session, down 1.63, but it has had a nice bounce off of the lows. So let's pull up this natural gas chart. I know we traded UNG successfully yesterday, so let's just see if there is another trade. So the level for the natural gas bulls that I want to see hold is the 7. The 7-day moving average looks like it's going to intersect with the 50 today, probably at the later end of the day, but that is still looking bullish to move higher. And if we get some consolidation, the positive for natural gas is you had a consolidation breakdown here, and now you've recaptured and closed above that. So natural gas is actually looks like it can try to go positive and move higher. That would be a very short-term positive. But if it decides to dip lower, we can look for a day trade long on natural gas. Basically in and around this vicinity, 230 to 228. This impulse green bar breakout, test candle defended, that would be the level. But we really don't want to lose that level. There is a gap down there, so there's always a chance that it can flush, but we really want to hold that level. I know we did get some economic data this morning, which I'll just review quickly. So building permits came in hotter than expected. Building permits 1.43, consensus was 1.41. Building permits month over month contracted by minus 7.7, but the expectation was minus 8.8, so it came in better than expected. House price index rose. We have new home sales at 10, consumer confidence at 10. Richmond manufacturing at 10. So at 10 o'clock, there's a whole host of data. So hopefully, if we're doing longs, they flush into our level and we can be in and out within the first 30 minutes. Because if that data comes in hotter than expected, which based off of the house price index and the building permits, that new home sales and consumer confidence may come in hotter than expected, which should spike the dollar more, and that should spike yields as well. So we have a lot of things on the radar right now to watch. We have about 5 minutes to the open. I'm going to switch to the regular trading hours here. Let's erase that. All right, so markets are going to be set to open here. Let's just change the spiders to the 5-minute chart, and I'll watch a lot of those other plays. Tesla's in play, UPS is in play, Spotify short is in play. FRC is creating a nice bounce here. All right, guys, so get ready. Top trades, UPS, Spotify. UPS is actually heading lower than my level, so that's very interesting. All right, so keep UPS on your radar. Keep Spotify. Keep McDonald's. FRC's had a big bounce off the lows. Markets are set to open in about 2 minutes. FRC's having a terrific bounce off the lows. FRC is pretty much off the table now because it's ripping. So the UPS level, new level because it pierced and made a new low, is around 181.44, 181.44 or lower. It may actually slice through that. All right, markets are set to open here. So keep UPS on the radar because that's looking like it's going to be very likely flushing into our level. Also, I have DHR, gapping lower, 237 or lower, 237 pierce or lower. And UPS around the 181.44 level. All right, spiders are going to be opening here any second. All right, markets are open. Spiders are gapping lower here. Let's take a look at UPS. UPS is coming into some support down here. It's hitting that daily 200. Let it pierce that level. I'm getting triggers on Baidu, Baba. Sorry guys about the insane alerts. FRC's coming down. Spiders are still hanging in. They're trying to catch a little bit of a bid. FRC's coming down to double bottom. So UBS is coming into its first technical level. Apple's hitting a big push on Apple. Big push on Apple, big push on Nvidia. So mega cap tech is rallying right now. Baidu's into a good technical level. Alright, UPS is hitting the first level, guys. I'm not long. I want to see if we can get a little bit of a pierce there. Oh, it's bouncing a little bit. So McDonald's is reversing from the highs. Apple's still surging. FRC's testing that double bottom now. I'm not going to play FRC because it's a little bit risky. Super risky. UPS is interesting. I'm still watching it. Tesla had a nice little bounce. Apple's very strong. Baidu's catching a bounce off of that gap fill. So anyone that took Baidu, good job. Alright guys, I'm going long UPS here. I just got filled at 181.16. 181.16. UPS long. 181.16. Let's see what we can get here. It's a 1/5 position. 181.16. UPS is getting a small little bounce. Alright guys, I am out of UPS here. UPS, I'm out of 181.88. 181.88. That is a 62-cent gain. We can play this one again if it comes lower. Microsoft's under pressure. Microsoft's under pressure. Nvidia's starting to reverse from the highs. If UPS pierces that 188, 181 mark, we can play it again. It's coming back down though. Spiders are acting well. The dollar's catching a little bit of a bid here. China stocks are moving a little bit. Let's take a look at FCX. That one's getting hit pretty hard here. McDonald's, you see, McDonald's went negative. McDonald's went negative. Look at that reversal. Look at that reversal. Just like Coca-Cola. Just like what we said. Look at Pepsi Go. Pepsi's flying high. People loving their sugary drinks. 189.99. We short Pepsi. We short Pepsi at 189.99. So there's just one trade in the book for us. If we can hit that 180 level on UPS, I will go long UPS. It's not there yet. GE went negative. Nice. Nice. So right now we have Tesla down 2. FRC's down 27%. Get ready on UPS. It's coming down. UPS is coming down. FRC's testing that double bottom low. Tesla's also testing that double bottom. All right, keep Tesla on watch for a long trade as well. Let it pierce that double bottom. Actually, I'm going to pull up my Tesla price action here. So Tesla is falling. 158.60 or lower gets me interested. Also UPS is flushing lower. That's a little intriguing to go long as well. Whichever one hits first. UPS is looking. Tesla's getting a small bounce, so UPS is back on the radar here. I'll keep Tesla on watch as well, guys. I will keep Tesla on watch. But UPS is coming down. Let's see if we get one more little flush on UPS. It is starting to fall a lot sharper, and the market is also under a little bit of pressure. All right, guys, I'm going long UPS here. 179.50, 179.50. It's a 1-6 position. 179.50. It's flushing even lower now. Spiders are catching a bid here. It's one of the reasons I decided to take it a little bit early. Next ad level on UPS is a Pierce of 179. A Pierce of 179. We're going to look for 50 cents or more on UPS. 50 cents or more on UPS. Let's see if we can get another little flush here. Pierce of 179 is the next technical level. Let's see if we can flush that 179, guys. Let's see if we can flush UPS on that 179. It's catching a little bit of a bounce here. It's catching a small bounce. The dollar's surging. The dollar is surging. All right, we're getting a bounce here, guys. We are getting a bounce on UPS. Let's see what we can get here. We're nicely in the money now. Let's see if we can get more. Come on. Bounce a little bit more. I think we're going to look for about 50 cents or more, around 181, or sorry, 180.20, 180.50, around that level. I think we can look for UPS. Spiders are getting some more selling pressure because that dollar is surging. FRC just pierced that low on FRC, so a new low on FRC. Nvidia's under some pressure. China stocks are still falling. Gold is now reversing. Tesla's catching a bit off of the lows. All right, we're in the money on UPS. That's our second trade on UPS. Let's see if we can get some more though. FRC making new lows. The KRE is under pressure. Apple's just surging higher. Apple's the one powerhouse stock that is keeping this market insulated. I'm seeing AMC up 4.4%. Amazon's down. GM is down. Tesla's still weak. I like Tesla now at 157 Pierce. 157 Pierce. Oh, Spotify hit our level. Sorry guys, I missed Spotify. That was an epic pullback on Spotify. Spiders are catching a small bid here. Damn, that Spotify level. I can't believe I wasn't paying attention, guys. I apologize. That was perfect. That Spotify level was absolutely perfect. I'll pull up the chart to explain it again. But we went over it in pre-market. Whoops. Keep UPS on the radar. Look at that Spotify reversal. Hit our level and reversed. UPS, I'm still riding UPS here. Apple's surging. Apple is surging. Holy, it's lifting this market single-handedly. Apple is pulling this market from the deep, dark depths of below and surging higher. I will add it a Pierce of 179 again on UPS. A Pierce of 179. Spotify's still acting well. Let me take a look at some of the other stocks. GE pulled off our level. That one hit. KRE starting to bounce now. So high risk is FRC is in play right now. It's a high risk trade. You could go long, But again, you could have a halt, an announcement that it's going into receivership, going to bankrupt. Who the heck knows what could transpire there? All right, guys, if we approach that 180, I may look to start taking profits on UPS. Huge reversal on Spotify. That's so, oh, I can't believe I missed it. I absolutely can't believe I missed Spotify. That's absolutely crazy. All right, guys, I'm taking profits on UPS. I am out at 180, so that's a 50-cent gain on UPS the second half. That's another gain of 50 cents. So 2 for 2 on UPS. Look at that FRC. It's getting demolished right now. All right, we can play UPS again if it comes back down below 179. I will be interested. That was a good exit on UPS. Nice exit. Tesla had a bounce. That's off of our level. JP Morgan's under a lot of pressure today. Silver's under pressure as well. BX, Blackstone Group, is under pressure. Obviously, home builders are doing well on the earnings. Netflix is coming back lower. Keep UPS on the radar. Again, I'm very intrigued about this level. We could actually get it lower. Let's see. One more little flush on UPS and we should get another entry here. Let's see if we can go. All right, guys, I'm picking up UPS here. 179, 179.05. 179.11 I got filled at. 179.11. I did not get that 05 fill. That's too bad. It hit that 05 level. So 179.11 long UPS again. Pepsi still hasn't hit the level, but getting very, very close to doing so. I still like Pepsi for a short. MCD. MCD had a big reversal, but nice bounce. The next technical level on UPS would be 11. Next technical level is 178.70. 178.70 on UPS. Spiders are still under pressure. Look at this bounce on UPS, guys. Nice little bounce coming in. DHR is coming down to our level, so keep that on the radar because I am intrigued for a potential. Long on DHR. Spotify's reversed. I can't believe I missed that Spotify trade. That one's gonna haunt me today. But you can't win them all. That's for sure. And to be honest, there were so many alerts going off, it's kind of my fault for missing that trade. I had like 50 alerts trigger all at once on my screen that I was just overwhelmed. And that's a sign of honestly doing too much market prep in a way. Alright, we're nicely in the money on UPS here. Let's see if we can get back above 180. I would love to pull $1, 180.11. I'd love to pull $1 off this trade now. We've done it twice, and remember that 10 o'clock data comes out very soon, so I don't want to stick around too long in this market. UPS is getting a nice bounce. Let's check this out. Anything above 180 is key to pull profits off. DHR is still coming down. I'm getting a Baidu alert here. Let me just flip to my Baidu chart. Baidu's coming back into a key technical level, so I am interested in Baidu for a long. FRC just keeps going lower. Let's put Baidu on the Spotify screen since it's now off the table. FRC is just getting demolished, guys. Oh my goodness. I'm like so intrigued. I'm tempted to go long, but there's just way too much risk. Way too much risk. Baidu is piercing that 119 level. I am interested in a long on Baidu. BIDU is the ticker. Again, it's the dollar surging though. Look at that dollar. That dollar is flying and roaring and soaring. Spiders are coming back down. Alright, so I'm going to hold off on that Baidu trade because UPS is now coming down again. So next ad level on UPS would be at 178.69, around that area. 178.69, give or take. Spider just had a huge dump on the spiders. Huge dump on the spiders. Look at that, making new lows. Now there's a chance we can actually head all the way back down to 409. Wow, big dump. Big dump coming in the spiders. UPS is still holding up, but it should make more lows. Huge dump on the spiders there. That was Nvidia. Nvidia had a big reversal. Banks, the KRE is getting slaughtered again. So is the Nasdaq. Nasdaq is trading near the lows of the session. That's good that the spiders dumped and UPS did not make a new low. That is a relative strength divergence. DHR is on my list for a long trade. Baidu is also on my list for a long trade. We went over Baidu. Baidu's hitting that technical level now. You had an initial bounce, but it's holding up. There's another level at 118.28. 118.28 on Baidu. I may wait for that level. But this is decent because you got a nice reversal there. I'm very, very tempted and intrigued on Baidu. Alright, I'm going long Baidu here. I just got filled at 118.90. 118.90. Long Baidu. 118.90. 118.90 on Baidu. Keep UPS on the radar because that's coming down again to the next technical ad level. Spiders are coming back down. UPS is coming back down as well. Things are getting dicey. UPS is falling sharply lower now. Spiders are still under a lot of pressure. So get ready on UPS. It is almost at that next technical level. I will let you know if I get filled. I have not taken it yet. Alright, I just added to my UPS here. Oh, I did not get filled at the low. I did not get filled at the low. Damn. That's not good. I did not get filled at the low. Maybe it comes back down. But I did not get filled on UPS. I was hoping for a 178.69 Pierce fill. I may get it still. I may get it. It hit that level again. Alright, I just got filled on UPS at 178.67. 178.67. It's a 2-6 position. I'll let you know my average here once we settle things in and get some 178.89 is my average. 178.89. 178.89. Right around there. Alright. Baidu, I'm still long Baidu, one starter position. Nice little bounce coming in on UPS. It's definitely buyers stepping up to the plate here. Baidu's coming lower. Next ad level on Baidu is a Pierce of 118.30. Nvidia is falling sharply here. Nvidia is falling much sharper here. Nice bounce on UPS, guys. Nice bounce on UPS. Let's see if we can get above 179.38. That would be about a 50-cent gain again. Baidu's coming back down, so I'm going to add to Baidu at a Pierce of 118.28. That data comes out in 10 minutes, so hopefully we can get in and out of these trades very soon. Keep Baidu on the radar because that's the next ad level is basically approaching here at 118.29. So we are long Baidu at 118.90, which we are out of the money right now. And UPS is also just flat on that trade. We've already closed UPS twice. Next ad level on UPS would be around 178.25 Pierce. 178.25 Pierce. Nvidia is still coming down. S&P is still under a lot of pressure right now, but it is holding some technical support. Dollar softened slightly. The dollar's seeing a little bit of softening in prices. FRC had a nice little bounce. UPS is coming back down again. All right, let's see what type of bounce we can muster up on UPS. 9 minutes till that 10 a.m. data. I'm still hoping to be in and out of these trades by then, but it's not what I hope. Hope is not a strategy. We'll just manage the risk accordingly. So UPS is getting a small minor bounce. So is Baidu. Baidu's also getting a small bounce off that level. I never got filled on the second position, but that's okay. That is okay for now. DHR is coming back down. Tesla's still negative. FRC's down 28. Amazon's negative. Apple's the only one positive. Ford's down another couple percent. Google's negative. Baba's negative. Microsoft's negative, but hanging in there. Hanging in there. Let's see if UPS can get a bigger bounce here. We're starting to get a bounce on UPS, guys. We're almost break even on UPS, but the spiders keep selling. There's huge sellers lurking in the spiders here. Things are not all sunshine and rainbows today. But they are trying to get a bounce now. All right, we're in the money on UPS. Let's see what we can get. Let's see what we can get. Anything above 180.28, give or take. I'm looking for about 50 cents or more on UPS. 50 cents or more on UPS. DHR is catching a small bid. Baidu's trying to bounce. Spotify's still holding up really well. Lots of pressure in this market though. Tons and tons of pressure. UPS is starting to come back down again. Baidu's trying to bounce. FRC, big bounce in FRC. Regionals are trying to bounce. So the KRE ETF actually is testing that double bottom zone, but bouncing for now. Let's take a look at GE. GE's reversed from the highs. Oil's still under pressure. Natural gas is still under pressure. All right, Baidu, I believe I just got filled on my other Baidu position. No, I did not get filled yet. It missed my order by 1 penny on Baidu. 1 penny. I had it at 118.27. 118.27 is where I have my order line. I did not get filled. But Baidu's approaching there, about 4 cents away from that fill. I'll let you know if I get filled. I have my order waiting there. UPS is trying to bounce. Nvidia is still under pressure. Spiders may be seeing a little bit of a near-term bounce here. We have 6 minutes till data. Nice little bounce on UPS starting to form. Let's see if we can get above that 179, 180 level. Still watching Baidu. Apple's now coming down. Baba's still nearing the lows. Banks are under pressure. Go figure, Costco and Walmart are still holding up. Spiders are trying to muster a bounce, but they're still exceptionally weak. Baidu still did not get that next fill on Baidu. We're just waiting on UPS. We have 5 minutes till the data. Alright, I just got filled on Baidu at 118.26. 118.26. So my average now on Baidu is 118.58. UPS is coming back lower now again. UPS is coming back down, so get ready to add again to UPS at 178.15 or 178.20, in and around that vicinity. I like an add level. So UPS is still coming lower, guys. I will add if we get that 178.20 pierce. It's coming up here now, guys. It's coming up here now. Spiders are still under a lot of pressure here. I'm going to put a stop loss on Baba at 118. Hard stop on Baidu, sorry, at 118. Win, lose, or draw. I don't want to hold this one in case that home sales spikes the dollar and dumps. So a hard stop at 118 on Baidu. And I just got stopped out there, guys. I just got stopped out for a loss on Baidu. That actually just had a big dump through that 118 level. So saved ourselves there. I'm still holding on to UPS for a long. Next add level is around that 178.20 Pierce level. 178.20 Pierce. So the data is coming out in minute 30, guys. A minute 30. So that Baidu trade was a 50-cent loss. Sorry, 59-cent loss. 59-cent loss. That's okay. We were insulated by our UPS. Nvidia's still falling. Apple's holding up though. We have a minute till that data, a minute till incoming. I'd love to see UPS just quickly get above that 179.10 level, 179.20. Spiders are catching a small bounce here. Nvidia is still falling, gold's still falling, regionals have had a bounce, healthcare is now under pressure, yields are falling. So we may get a quick dip on data. If it comes in hotter than expected, it could spike yields, it could spike the dollar. So just keep that in mind. We have about 20 seconds here. Alright, so markets, that data is being interpreted right now. UPS is bouncing. I'm just trying to see the market reaction. We'll let you know what the data is, which is on the screen now, thanks to our handy dandy research team here. Alright, UPS is starting to bounce, guys. UPS is starting to bounce. We're in the money here. Let's see what else we can get. Spiders are getting a nice big bounce. Here we go, guys. Here we go. Big bounce on the spiders. Big bounce on the spiders. UPS, we're slightly in the money. I want a little bit more. Let's see if we can get a little bit more. New home sales obviously causing the dollar to soften. Market likes the reaction. Spiders are getting a big bounce here. UPS is still just hovering above our level. Still a lot of weakness though in this chart. Still a lot of weakness in this chart. Spiders are still seeing a lot of sell side pressure. You're seeing a lot of pockets of weakness in this market. Let's see if we can get above 179.20. That's going to be the next level. And then 179.40. Hopefully we can tag that 179.40. Because I will look to probably exit out of my UPS trade there. Come on. One more little push on UPS. It's trying. It's trying here. Spiders are still weakening though. That's not what I like to see. Let's see if we can get another little pop. Apple's trying to break out of a flag pattern. Oil's softening. Oh, right back down on UPS. Still so much selling. And this is probably due to vol funds having to unload and liquidate. UPS is still under pressure here. Come on, UPS, give us a little bounce here. Apple's still holding up really well. You're seeing copper being taken to the woodshed today. So copper's indicating the dollar likely going to continue its bounce. Spiders are still so much sell side pressure occurring, and FRC is still down on the session, but it's recaptured those pivots. Let's see if we can get to 179.40. Come on, UPS. Let's see if we can get to 179.40 on UPS. Spiders are still acting weak. Spiders are exceptionally weak. Alright guys, I'm exiting UPS here. The spiders are too weak. They're breaking down. 179.21, I'm out. 179.21. That is a nice little profit. 3 for 3 on UPS. And it is bouncing here. So that was a 179.21 profit. So basically that was a gain of just over 36 cents. And I only had about 200 shares there, so it's a small little win, but nonetheless, it's a win. It's a win. And I've just seen the spiders acting so weak right now, and look at this bounce on UPS. It's continuing to soar and roar. I'm still watching DHR for a potential long. DHR for a potential long. Keep that on your radar. And again, if UPS flushes back lower, we can get in again. We can get in again. BABA's coming up into a key gap fill that I'm eyeing up. Big bounce on UPS though. It's an impressive move. Just trying to see if there's anything else here that's catching my eye for a trade. Meta's had a decent bounce off the lows. Nat gas is still under a little bit of pressure. ARE is falling, so commercial real estate's under pressure, but the home builders are acting well. Gold and silver's under a lot of pressure. So pay attention to silver because that's an interesting trade. Look, we can almost get back into UPS here. We can almost get back into UPS. I am intrigued to get long again. We will play UPS again. Alright guys, I'm picking up UPS here again. 178.89. 178.89. So 1/6 position again. So basically just 2 cents higher from our additional add entry, but it's nice that we pulled profits already off of this trade. We've done 3 for 3 on UPS. Some would say we're keep going back to the cookie jar. Gets us hurt, but it's okay. It's sometimes you just got to risk it for the biscuit. Healthcare, some aspects of healthcare are still acting extremely well. So I just have 100 shares on this round of UPS, and I'll add in 100 increments. So again, I'm looking for about 50 cents to $1 now. Same sort of price tag. Really on UPS, I'll only add around 178. Pretty much at the lows, 178.24 I would add back to my UPS. Spiders are breaking down now. Spiders are breaking lower. UPS is coming back lower now. Scrolling through some other charts here to see if there's any additional setups. Nothing else is catching my eye as of yet. So 178.25 I'd add to my UPS position again. Nvidia is still acting very weak. XOM is now falling sharply lower. Let's do a quick check on Intel. Intel's coming lower now, breaking a bear flag pattern. Intel's interesting because that's a nice oversold pattern coming into the 50 daily moving average here. Oops. So there's a potential that UPS could come all the way down to its little gap fill down here. That would be a bigger drop down, but there's a potential that it could come down to this 176.58 level. Spiders are still holding up at this point in time. Alright guys, I'm interested in Baidu again, but the dollar's still surging. So let's just be patient with that. AMC's up 6.25%. Interesting move on AMC. Let's see if there's a short level on AMC. No, not really on AMC. It's just too strong. Not enough resistance. Spiders are testing the lows. Good thing that UPS hasn't taken out its low, but it is testing it. A little bit of relative strength there, diverging from the spider new lows. Spiders just made new lows. Look at that reversal on McDonald's too. So we actually issued a short alert at 297 in the pre-market to our members all the way up here. That's where we got our short off, and it hasn't even hit that level in the regular market. But we were able to execute a short at 297, add to our position to significantly bring in our average. Now look at this UPS bounce. This is what we want to see. UPS is still acting weak though. McDonald's is still falling. Baidu's pierced that level. Nvidia's testing the lows. I'm still interested in a long on Tesla. Wow, spiders are falling lower here. Spiders are falling lower. Dollar just made a new intraday high. Look at this sell-off coming in to the market. Let me see if there's any other setups here. Ford, I know that's been beaten up. That's okay. CLF, I know steel stocks were under pressure. They're falling as well. Let me see what else here. XBEV, INAB, Nvidia's down over 1. Things are getting very intriguing here, guys. Things are getting very intriguing. Look at the sell-off and the spiders coming in. Look at this sell-off. So spiders are coming into its first level of support here around 409.20-ish. But considering it consolidated, you may not get as big of a bounce there as one may think. And look at this dollar soaring and roaring. Jeepers. And it's interesting that UPS still hasn't taken out the lows, but it looks like it's very close to doing so. It's actually looking very, very close to doing so. That dollar is continuing to push up. UPS is trying to get a little bit of a bounce. Nvidia just made a new low. Nvidia's had 10-minute down candles in a row. UPS is trying to bounce again. Spiders, the dollar's at the highs, the spiders are at the lows, but creating a little bit of a bounce. Dollar's continuing to rip higher here, guys. Let's do a Coinbase check. See how that's hanging in there. Coinbase is actually hanging in there. It's coming off the lows. Surprisingly, Coinbase is actually positive in today's market session. Go figure, there's a lot of rumors about fraud on Coinbase seizing over 350,000 customers' accounts and saying their accounts don't exist. And Coinbase, what is the stock doing today? It's up. Up when a dollar's surging, when crypto's down. So impressive, the market psychology. You just have to, it always amazes me. It always amazes me. Alright, so we're getting a big bounce here on UPS. That's great to see considering the spiders made new lows. UPS did not take out its lows. Let's see if we can get another big bounce. If we get a market bounce in the spiders, this UPS should rip. This UPS should rip. And look at this. It's pushing up now. Let's see what we can get. Come on. Keep going, UPS. Keep on trugging. Let's see if we get above that 40 level. 179.40. That's going to be the next big resistance. 179.40 and then 179.50. Let's just battle these 10 cents. Nvidia keeps falling. Apple's coming down now. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. All right, I'm exiting UPS here. 179.25 because market's breaking down. Market is breaking down. So I exited for another win there. 179.25. I'm seeing the markets break down, guys. Apple and Nvidia are breaking down. But if the spiders catch a small bid, UPS is going to rip. Tesla's surging. Wow, look at Tesla go. Holy, Tesla's surging. All right, we can play UPS. If it comes back down to that level, I'll play it again. Spiders are catching a bounce. Microsoft's an interesting potential play as well. XOM has been beaten up too. That one's had a terrific fall. Spiders are trying to get a small little bounce here. We'll see if they can hold up. Still a lot of weakness in this market. Keep UPS again. Below 179 gets me intrigued once again. And I am interested in Baidu as well. If Baidu can make a new low around 117.70, I may be interested in Baidu, so keep that on the radar. Let's take a look at McDonald's and Coke. So we've closed UPS 4 times now. 1 loss on little Baidu, 4 wins on UPS. The UPS definitely covers the Baidu loss and then some. But I am intriguing. Hopefully we can get another flush on UPS. There's another level that I'm interested in below our previous level, so we'll see. But spiders are hanging in there. It's now approaching that 10-16 time frame. All right, BABA is hitting a level now. BABA is hitting a technical gap fill on an oversold condition. Oh my goodness. Thank you. Keep BABA on the radar because I am interested in BABA for a long. Alright guys, I am going. Oh, BABA had a little tight range of consolidation. I'm not going long BABA yet because the dollar's still surging. I'm more interested in UPS. But BABA's interesting. All right, I'm going long BABA here. 83.66 long BABA. 83.66. Keep UPS on the radar as well because that's at our same, pretty much our level that we've been accumulating at. So I am interested in trading UPS again. Apple's starting to fall sharply lower now. Alright guys, I just picked up some UPS. I got filled at 178.85. 178.85. Long UPS. 1/6 position again, 100 shares for me. Oh, what's happening with the CRUS? So 178.85 long UPS again for the 4th time today. Let's actually put this on the regular trading hours. That's why my chart was a little off. I was wondering why. Kept seeing some weird little ticks there. BABA's bouncing off that level. Spiders are trying to get a bounce. Let's take a look at the CRUS. That one's actually coming down nicely. Ooh, CRUS is getting slaughtered. Alright, if CRUS comes into this 83.71 200 daily moving average, we will go long. Okay, we will go long if CRS comes into that level. So keep CRUS on your radar as well. It's a semiconductor. It's a smaller cap semiconductor play, but it is a valid technical level. That does intrigue me. BABA's going lower now. Nvidia's going lower. BABA's going lower. UPS is yielding a nice little bounce here, guys. BABA is still falling, guys. BABA is still falling. Spiders are still under a lot of pressure. Alright, I'm going to look to exit UPS if we get one more little push-up. Come on, UPS. Still a lot of sellers lurking there. Still in UPS. FRC is trying to bounce a little bit here, but putting in potential bear flag pattern. The next ad level on BABA is 83.16, basically 50 cents lower. 83.16. Getting an alert on GIS. Apple's rolled over. Nvidia's still rolling downhill. Those two stocks alone are going to put a lot of pressure on this market. And look at the dollar. The dollar's still at its highs. Dollar's still at its highs. UPS is still under pressure, basically flat. Oil's rolling over. The Qs are coming up into its first support level here around the 100 moving average. It's actually filling a gap right now in the Qs at 313.13. So we should see a small bounce in tech coming in here. This is where we should see a small bounce in tech. Alright guys, UPS is coming back down now. The dollar's softening slightly. So we're just managing BABA and UPS. We're in the money on UPS. It's now approaching that 10:30 time frame. Do a quick check on BABA. BABA is just hovering at that level. Again, the next ad level is 83.16. 83.16 on BABA. Look at this UPS move. That's starting to uptick. Spiders are catching a small bounce here. So I'm liking that the UPS never made a new low, even though the spiders did. Can we go 4 for 4 on UPS? I think we can. I absolutely think we can. And this next big push, if we get a market bounce, UPS is going to fly. UPS is going to fly, and UPS is going to take out the 179.50 area. You mark my words, UPS has been showing some good relative strength at this level. JP Morgan's still at the lows. Silver's pretty much at the lows. UPS is starting to bounce. BABA's starting to bounce. UPS is coming back down. I just covered my Freeport McMoran short. Just covered my Freeport McMoran. UPS is coming back down now, guys. Still a lot of weakness in this market. GDX is at the lows. VIX is trying to break out of a falling wedge pattern. That's going to be detrimental to the markets. And right now the spiders are just hanging on to a thread. You're hitting some minor support at a 618 retrace of a smaller up move in this pattern. So we should get somewhat of a bounce, but it's acting so weak right now. UPS is coming lower now, guys. So we will add to UPS if it falls a little bit more. Small bounce coming in the spiders here. Can Baba bounce? I'm watching that. Can UPS bounce? UPS is still coming a little bit lower now. Apple's bouncing. Nvidia's catching a little tail candle bounce. The Q's filled an important hourly gap. Actually, the Q's never officially filled the gap at 313.03. A pierce below 178 I will add to my UPS trade. We're in the money 1 penny. Big sell on spiders. Another big fat finger trader unloading. Another big fat finger. Tesla's had a remarkable bounce off the lows. Didn't quite pierce that double bottom level. It's too bad. GE has had an impressive reversal. Super, super impressive reversal. Alright, UPS is coming back down here, guys. So I'm going to let it pierce that 178 level to add. Just still managing some other positions here in the meantime. Alright, 178 pierce will go long. I'm just going to put my order around 178.02 and let it pierce that level, so I want to make sure I do get a fill. As soon as we hit that 178 level, I'm going to look to add to the position. Spiders are still holding the lows here. It's impressive. One more, I think we're going to get one more little flush on UPS. It's approaching that 178 level now. Be ready. Be ready. Baba's not at the next ad level. It's still coming down. Spiders are still struggling here. The dollar's softening slightly. Alright, I am going to add to my UPS here, guys. I just added at 178.02. 178.02. $178.02. So my new average is 178.44. 178.44. Baba's coming down to our next ad level. So 178.04, basically around there. Sorry, 178.44. Back up there. I was like, oh, we're in the money already. Spiders are still exceptionally weak here. Exceptionally weak. Microsoft's challenging the lows. That has a huge hammer reversal candle. Oh, look at that pierce on UPS. That's a big, big flush on UPS. Next ad level is coming up. Next ad level is coming up. We're not there yet, but we're flushing. Next ad level on UPS would be around, let me just map it out here, 178.60, 177.60. Getting a small bounce here on UPS off that level. Alibaba dipped suddenly there and is trying to bounce. So we have a 2-6 position here in UPS. The dollar's starting to soften a little bit, so maybe this is where the markets get a small interim bounce. This could be the spot. But everything is just selling. Things are just selling off here. I think it's pretty prudent to notice and observe McDonald's reversal, similar to Coke's, exact same type of reversal. A little bit of a bottoming tail potential forming on UPS. Because we're bouncing, I'm going to lower my order to around 177.50 on UPS. We have to go a little bit lower now. But I'm not showing the market my order. It's just hovering there on the side. It's certainly not an easy market right now. Although we've traded UPS 4 times, 4 winners. We've lost on Baidu 5 trades so far. Baba is the 6th, which we're out of the money. Spiders are testing the lows again. They just can't catch any bid here. This is why we're net short. You know, I love to go on to day trades on the long side when I'm super net short, and I love to go on the short side for day trades when I'm net long. Because if you win, lose, or draw, you're kind of insulated. All right, Baba's coming down again, guys. Baba is coming down again. Spiders are testing the lows again. 83.17 I will add to my Baba position. Nvidia is testing the lows. Apple's trying to break down some more. Dollar softening though. The dollar is softening. Approaching that 10:33 time frame, the volume is starting to lighten up. Baba's getting a nice little bounce. 177.50, guys. I'll add to my UPS. QQQ's coming back down. All right, 177.56 on UPS. 170. We're 6 cents away. We are 6 new lows on the spiders. All right, I'm adding here to UPS 177.51. Oh, I did not get filled. I did not get filled. I repeat, I did not get filled on UPS. That is a little frustrating. It might come back down. It might come back down. All right, I just got filled on UPS 177.50. 177.50. That's a 3-6 position. I'll let you know my average. My average is 178.10. 178.10. 178.10. Just slowly accumulating. At some point we should get a market bounce. Baba did not hit my level yet. I repeat, Baba did not hit my level. I'm still intrigued to add to Baba. Alright, next add level will be basically down here at this gap fill, 176.56. That's going to be my final add on UPS. Spider new lows. They are trying to bounce now. Bitcoin's dumping. Take a look at Bitcoin, and the dollar's right back up. Baba, we're still in Baba. Let's take a look at this Bitcoin chart. Huge dump on Bitcoin there. Let's do a quick check on Coin. Coin is actually holding up. Riot. How about MicroStrategy? That's holding up, surprisingly. So that dollar continues to remain strong. Baba's coming back down again. We'll keep UPS on the chart there. Baba, I'm still interested in adding at 183.17. 83.17 on Baba. I will add to my position. UPS is catching a small little bid here. Nvidia new lows. That's awesome for our shorts. About time that friggin' company is seeing some downside. That should see like at least a 4% drop. I mean, come on. That thing's just one of the most overbought names in the actual industry. Qs filled the gap. So this is where we could see a market bounce. The Qs officially filled the hourly gap, hitting the hourly 200 MA. Oil is making new lows. It is getting demolished. So with oil falling, that's going to help the stock market slightly, and it should give the dollar a little bit of a cooling period, knowing that the dollar is doing its job and crushing the oil market. We're approaching that 10:30 time frame. We will be calling this stream to an end fairly soon. Basically, next ad level on UPS is down here at 176.58. That'll be my final ad level on UPS. In terms of, and I'm still looking for about 50 cents to $1. I think we can actually squeeze $1 if these markets do get a bounce. In terms of BABA, I'm looking on BABA for about a 30 cent bounce on BABA. And my next ad level will be this 83.17, which we're approaching, and then 82.60. So those will be the 3 ad levels. The 4th ad level would be basically 82.15. I'll stay with you for about another few minutes, see if we can get a move down in or move up in BABA. But the spiders are now breaking key support levels. And they're piercing through a big Fibonacci level. And there actually is a gap fill on the spiders at 408.09. 408.09 is a big level on the spiders that it could actually get down there today. I am anticipating a bounce before that, but there's a big gap fill, and the Qs actually filled the same gap, but the spiders are still holding up more. Small little micro bounce coming in the market. Bitcoin's had a bounce. KRE's still very weak. BABA's now down 3.91%. So some of the communication stocks are catching a bounce, like Meta and Meta and Google. So UPS is trying to bounce, still so weak though. A lot of sell side pressure in this market. Still waiting on BABA. Nvidia is still selling, trying to bounce as well. Tesla's pulled off of the highs. That was a very strong reversal on Tesla. Meta's having a nice little bounce. UPS is just lagging. So 83.17 on BABA I'll add, and 82.60 I'll add again, and those will be the final ads. And basically I am prepared to hold both UPS and BABA overnight as day trades. I'd prefer not to, but again, 30 cents on BABA is kind of what I'm looking for, and about 50 cents to $1 on UPS. Let me just do a quick volume check of these markets. So the spiders are still trading very light volume, only about 15.19 million. That's not that much. Not that much volume. Qs have a potential hourly bottoming tail that's forming, so tech is getting a little bit of a bid here. McDonald's still has a hard reversal. Coke. We covered our Freeport McMoran and our swing alert service. GDX. Geez, these markets are still fragile as ever. Dollar softening, no bounce yet in UPS. Alright, since the market's slowing down here, I'm going to call this stream to an end. I've given you the parameters of the trade. Congrats on the 4 winners. Sorry about the 1 loser on Baidu. We're still holding Baba. I've given you the parameters to the downside and the target to the upside. And I've given you the parameters on UPS. So congrats on the winners today. Certainly a profitable day trade room. 4 winners, 1 loss, 2 potential others. And we'll see how the rest of the market transpires here. But definitely pay attention to the volume and the dollar. If the dollar remains strong, it's going to be very difficult for this market to bounce. Let's just say that. But needless to say, watch for patterns. Right now, I'm potentially seeing a bearish pattern on Apple forming. That's obviously a market leader that we need to be mindful of. But with the volume trends lightening up here, we should see somewhat of a bounce. But again, we've been long overdue where we've seen this float in the afternoon, hard sell-off in the morning, which is what we got here again today. And then we see this grind up in the afternoon session on light volume. So will we see that again? Time will tell. Obviously, there's a little bit more risk being that there's earnings with Microsoft, Google, and a bunch of other names. So perhaps there's going to be a lot of scared investors. But definitely pay attention to Google and Microsoft because they could give you insights into what the market is going to do in the near term. On that note, congrats on the winners, and we will see you on the charts tomorrow. Take care, everybody.